the safety car pulls ahead, and Felix Rosenqvist will take us down to the green flag, down Shoreline Drive. Pato O'Ward and Felix Rosenqvist, front row of the grid. Palou and Kirkwood behind. Malukas and Dixon on the third row. We have a green flag, despite the fact the power is miles behind. Rosenqvist maintains the advantage. O'Ward tries to look around the inside, outside. It will stay as it is. Kirkwood in fourth. A little touch there, though, with David Malukas. But Rosenqvist does exactly what he needed to do and maintains that lead. And look at how much pace and place Will Power has managed to catch up now right on the rear wing of Scott Dixon.
It's amazing how far back Power and Beyond were behind the lead group as they got on the gas, but by the time they got to turn 2, everybody nose to tail, hit down into turn 6. An opportunity here on cold tires for somebody. But looks like everyone is going well. Remember, those red sidewalled Firestones, that's the softer tire. It's going to fire up a little bit quicker compared to the primary, that black sidewalled, harder compound tire. But so far, everyone playing nice.
Very well behaved first lap. I watched Will Power there. Again, that yellow and black number 26 looked really aggressive on the tail end of Scott Dixon. Nobody making a move into turn 9 just yet. James, you called it. That start was bizarre with the gap that Power left. I almost feel like he was just saying to himself, I've got a fast enough car to win. I don't want any trouble as they go too wide through turn 11.
Teammate on teammate, Rossi and Rasmussen. Rasmussen maintains the advantage.
That's a tough move to pull off there. Bold move from Rossi. They got side by side. They played well, but here we go.
Palou looks up the inside of Pato O'Ward, and that is P2 for the 4-time champion.
Not wasted any time. Not only is he ahead of Kirkwood, now he's got Pato in his rear view mirrors.
Tell me that he was on me.
Pato, I don't think, had the warning he needed that Palou was coming, but now Pato O'Ward has his mirrors full of the championship leader, Kyle Kirkwood. These 4 first drivers, remember, the only drivers really in the field today on that soft tire. Here's a replay of the start, and look at that gap. You're right, guys, very odd start.
I'm surprised they threw it, to be totally honest. That was we've seen gaps here. It's tough coming out of that slow 30-mile-an-hour turn 11, getting all the field lined up, but certainly I would have expected more cars a bit closer.
Just wonder if Power's gaming the field a bit, saying, hey, I don't want any trouble in the first corner, and there's a way to guarantee that. Pretend to be a second pull sitter back there. That was so strange. I can't think of another explanation. Either way, for Felix Rosenqvist right now, a nightmare in his mirrors. Alex Palou in second and closing.
And let's take a replay here. That's the 20 of Rossi on the inside there. You saw the blue and yellow machine, the 21 of Rasmussen, get into the back of Marcus Ericsson. That's what created that opportunity for Rossi.
On board here, the liquid science machine of Rossi. You can see his teammate locks up and he goes to pounce with the surprise move. But surprisingly, Rasmussen's still able to get a run on the outside and take the position back.
Rinus VeeKay, the first driver to pit, and this, pulling to Kevin's point from earlier, who would be the first driver to come in off the soft? It wasn't doing VeeKay any good down in 12th place, so he's taken on the hard tire, leaves pit lane, so he's the first driver to get off that soft tire.
But that effectively commits Rinus VeeKay to 3 stops, and what he's banking on is the red tire falling apart for the cars further up the grid. That's a big bet this early.
What it's going to come down to is how your car is handled. Some cars are going to be able to make it last the 30 laps you need. Some cars are not going to be able to do it. If you've got a little bit of an imbalance, maybe a bit of understeer, the front's not working, maybe you're a bit loose, struggling to get the power down, that's just going to get worse and worse as these tires wear. And ultimately, I think it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag here. But Rinus, like you say, committed to the 3-stopper, which is tough because pit lane here is so long.
About 40 seconds lost on pit lane for an average stop.
Oh, he's looking. Newgarden's getting racy. He wants to start moving through this traffic.
Lundgaard hasn't made any impact on the drivers ahead of him. Started 11th, stays 11th. Newgarden already up 2 places. Oh, a little lock up on the run down to the hairpin. He's looking racing. And he comes into pit.
And he's on the primaries, guys. He's on those hards, the black sidewall tires. So this is interesting. This tells me these guys think it's a 3-stopper and maybe that the softs are preferred.
Very strange, Kevin. VeeKay thinks it's a red race. Newgarden, VeeKay on a black race. Newgarden thinks it's a red race, Kev. He's coming to you.
I think mostly Newgarden and the 2 team wanted to do something different from where they were at. It was going to be difficult to make up the track position, so they want to come in early where this can really work out if there is a caution anytime between now and about lap 24. I think others would come in, and then it becomes a 3-stopper for everyone, and they will pick up track position.
I really like this from Newgarden and Penske. What this does is it puts Newgarden out into clean air on a track with no other cars around. If you can't pass on the track, if you're getting into a traffic jam, get out there on the soft tire, pump in the quick laps and make up the place, but he's going to have to keep Rinus VeeKay behind him. He's already managed to get ahead of him by staying out a little bit longer. He's on the soft tire, VeeKay behind him on the hard tire. I think part of that was reacting to VeeKay's strategy. Part of it is give me clear track and let me go after this win.
And we see this with Newgarden, that you can only pull this move off to overcut if you've got fast guns on pit lane. You're not taking a full fill. So you're launching on the last tire stop. Historically, nobody better than Team Penske on pit lane, and they delivered once again. That was a crazy fast pit stop.
5.8 seconds. That is a pretty quick way to switch 4 Firestones off and get 4 new ones on. But you can hear, just riding on board with Felix, the lift at the end of the straights, the fuel saving he's trying to do. So right now we're seeing these 2 different strategies play out. Felix out front with a lot of others on the 2-stop, VeeKay, Newgarden, and I'm sure a few others soon to follow on that 3.
Felix Rosenqvist still having a blast out there leading this race. 1.7, nearly 1.8 seconds to the good, but at what point will he say good riddance to these tires? Running 24 laps on the softs. He needs to try and get them to lap 30, and as we keep our eyes on Joseph Newgarden, he is still running about 1.2 seconds faster than the race leader. He will catch Nolan Siegel ahead of him if he maintains this pace in around 9 or 10 laps time, which would be a round where Siegel should be pitting for his first stop.
So if you are looking at how these tires are playing out, it's sort of looking like these softs are hanging on. The pace is decent up front. Those top 4 are making it work. If you're David Malukas, you could be sitting in a good position right now in P5. You're the top runner on the hard tire. You've got to run 2 sets of the softs. We know that, but if that becomes the preferred tire, he's already put his kind of mandatory stint on the hards out of the way, and he's keeping touch with these leaders. So that could potentially play into his advantage, especially if we do get a caution at some point. Newgarden, man, just ripping around.
And this is what I want to ask you guys. You said it's such a joy as a driver when you're given this opportunity. But how sketch is it if you're asked to go out there and put in quali lap after quali lap after quali lap, tanks full of fuel, heavy race car, knowing that this is your chance to score points? It's the big day, it's race day.
For me, it's the physicality. Completely different to be doing what Newgarden's doing right now from a physical standpoint. This guy totally into the high rocks competition phenomenon, the cross training. He says it's like nothing he's ever done to prepare his body for the challenges of IndyCar. There's maybe no better driver physically prepared than Newgarden to do what he's doing right now, which is quali lap after quali lap. But let's talk about the pressure that is now going to be placed on Felix Rosenqvist's race team as we're about 5 laps from pit stops. The spotlight goes to the men and women on pit lane. This team has only ever won 1 race. It was a big one, the Indy 500, but look at who they're up against as we're about to make the first pit stops. That is where that Team Penske, the Ganassi, the Andretti advantage might come to bear. Rosenqvist has to be thinking about his team on pit lane and, hey, guys, I'm doing everything I can, but I need your help.
Slide back, but it seems to hold on.
Sure what Rosenqvist said right there.
What are you thinking for the next set of tires?
Yeah, I've been thinking, I don't really know. I don't know if I want to finish on red.
Copy. We're thinking about it too.
That's interesting. So the Reds are lasting, but they're not necessarily happy with them. Kevin, what do you know?
So that was about 2 or 3 laps ago. They debated it a little bit, and they're planning on going to their second set of new soft red sidewalls coming up in the next stop, so they want to finish on harder compound. By the way, we're getting into the unknown now. I know some got to 25 laps with not much degradation or wear in the warm-up today. After that, it's a little bit uncertain. And David Malukas, as Hinch mentioned, might be in a good position. This is what he wanted. He just wanted to hold station in 5th, save a little bit of fuel. When those in front pit, presumably he can go a couple of laps extra, and then he is going to really turn up the wick and try to do an overcut, meaning pick up time by staying out longer on track.
And the reason he can do that, folks, he is the lead driver on the hard tire, the top 4 all on the soft.
You talk about how sketchy it is, Will, when you're out on full fuel and pushing qualifying laps. Here's Newgarden out of turn 5. Look at just how hard he is pushing.
Oh, boy.
Brushing the wall with that left rear. That was beautiful. Back on board with Rosenqvist at the point, and that number 10 is a lot closer, T-Bell, than it was just a few laps ago. That gap right here now down to under a second.
That tells me that Alex Palou is about to hit pit lane.
Kyle Kirkwood is definitely about to hit pit lane. His mechanics getting ready for him. Is this the moment where the soft shod drivers pull the pin and jump? Not for Rosenqvist, not for Palou. What about the drivers behind? I'm assuming Kirkwood will come in.
I don't think so. I think he's staying out one more time. They're going to try to extend the range. Those red tires are holding up.
I wonder if that was a dummy, if that was the 27 crew trying to goad one of the other cars to come in. But it's going to be soon, lap 30. They've done what they need to do. They've made these softs last. This is going to be a 2-stopper for these cars for sure.
And once again, we see the genius and the brilliance of Alex Palou, who for 29 laps has sat and waited, bided his time, saved his fuel, saved his tires, and now he punches.
And this will be the question. Has he saved more fuel than Felix Rosenqvist? If we see Rosie dive in this lap and Palou stays out one more, that means he's been doing a huge job all stint long, and that could be a massive advantage.
What do you mean if? It's Alex Palou, man. We know the script. We know what he does.
Well, if Palou's going to go one lap longer, Dixon's probably going to go 3.
But don't forget, these two drivers, different race teams, but they share a technical partnership. Rosenqvist knows exactly what Palou has on his race car. They talk pre-race, but they are two different teams on pit lane. I think, Pato O'Ward duck in further back. O'Ward is the first to pit.
Kirkwood stays out. Rosenqvist and Palou stay out. Pato O'Ward is into pit lane from the top 4. Jack, take it.
Thanks, Will. I chatted to Nick Snyder, and they were very happy with what Pato was doing. It was just a case of saving some fuel. You're seeing them fill that Shell 100% renewable fuel all the way to the top. He's out. Very smooth stop. These 5 guys are known for it.
Clean and tidy for Pato O'Ward. Louis Foster on pit lane. So too Alexander Rossi. So too Graham Rahal. This the moment then when the strategy starts to play out. The hard shot going to the soft.
Nice quick stop for the Rahal crew. Graham out in 8.0, and look, even closer now up front, 0.7 of a second. That's what it looks like at 160 miles an hour. Just closing that gap up, putting extra pressure on the 60 crew when it comes to pit lane. And here you can see it. So far, they've been strong on pit lane. They were the 3rd best on pit lane, and Barber, they're going to have to be all of that and then some. Both cars are in.
Both coming in together. Georgia is waiting for Felix Rosenqvist.
Felix Rosenqvist has been hitting his marks all weekend long, and now it's time for the pit crew to do the same. He's reached them. They're going to go for their 2nd set of soft tires. A little small front wing adjustment, but overall they're going to fill it up with fuel to try to make it to that
And Alex Palou has to go around the David Malukas tires. He's coming in right behind him. The Shell 100% renewable fuel. Rosenqvist is going to win that race up pit road. It's softs for Palou. He's out.
Softs for Palou, softs for Rosenqvist, and Rosenqvist and MSR have done a beautiful job to keep that position ahead of Alex Palou.
Understand that Marcus Ericsson is having some issues with his hybrid system, James. That his teammate, Kyle Kirkwood, had a total hybrid failure in morning warm-up. They had to replace the whole unit, so watching the hybrid usage right here, it looks static, and Kyle Kirkwood told me this morning he thought he lost about half a second a lap with that issue. As we take a look at Ericsson trying to get things sorted out here real slow.
It almost looks like the car went into some sort of limp mode or something. He had to do a reset. Jack, what do you know about what's happening with Ericsson?
James, you're absolutely right. They have an electrical issue right now. That car did go into limp mode, and also, Townsend, you were also right. No hybrid on the 28 of Marcus Ericsson right now. It's such a shame. He's been so good this season. This team are so good on street circuits. We all know this is not the way he wanted his day to unravel.
Started 15th. Now it's just about clinging on for Marcus Ericsson down there in 22nd place. Joseph Newgarden wringing the neck of that Astemo Chevrolet round the hairpin, and chooses now to come into the pits. Lap 37 for Joseph Newgarden. Needs a clean stop to make this strategy work. Kevin Lee, this is a bold roll of the dice for Penske today.
And I'm a bit surprised. Just a lap before, they said a few more laps, use efficient overtake, meaning trying to go as fast as you can. And from when Rosenqvist pit, as we see him go from a set of softs to, are those red sidewalls? It's a bit of a glare. Those are softs again. He had gained 4 seconds from about a 12-second lead to 16 seconds. So he's fast. What he needs is a caution to come up pretty soon that might make some others go ahead and stop and bail on their two-stop strategy.
Yeah, interesting thing for Newgarden right now as he comes out just ahead of Marcus Armstrong and will try to defend. Armstrong gets past him. Brand new sticker softs for Joseph Newgarden. He will be lighter on fuel because he is attempting to do the 3-stop. Everybody else on the 2-stop. Joseph Newgarden still out there slugging it massively sideways on the exit of the hairpin. That is Marcus Armstrong ahead of him. This the fight for 13th and 14th places. An interesting call from Penske to bring him in when they did and put him back out in traffic. This the moment for Newgarden. Look how hard he's pushing. Look how close he's getting to that wall.
So easy to do when you're trying to line up a pass coming out of 11. You want to be to throttle just a fraction sooner than the car in front of you, but if the grip's not there, if you're still turning too much, that can be the result, and then you're high tire temps and falling way back.
And this is what we were talking about. To make this 3-stop strategy work, you got to be able to pass cars, and all of a sudden that lap time advantage has really been muted. Newgarden might have a shot here, looking for a run on Armstrong, but not maybe close enough.
He was a second faster than the field when he was in clean air at the front. As he looks up the inside and sends it late, locks up the left front. Will he make it through? He does. What a really brave move from Joseph Newgarden.
Barely.
On the push to pass down shoreline, he's got fuel to burn. That's the big difference. Everyone else here has got to save fuel. They got to hit a number, but Newgarden able to be full tilt, full rich on the button. Wow. I wonder if he's got a flat spot. That's a big lockup, T-Bell.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge vibration for Joseph Newgarden, potentially so violent that your vision is blurred.
We sit on board with Felix Rosenqvist back leading the race once again. His advantage over Alex Palou, 2 seconds. As we look at the bottom of the screen to Marcus Ericsson sitting on pit lane, cutting a forlorn figure, and that is so disappointing for the man who had started off this season getting his elbows back out, being aggressive again, and back to the Marcus Ericsson that we know.
Yeah, and as a driver, just it's the worst feeling, sitting there on pit lane, sweat pouring into your eyes as you heat soak there. You're looking optimistically at your crew, hoping they're going to tell you things are going to be okay, and then you see the field go by as you go another lap down. Guys, look at those stats there. 200 consecutive green flag laps.
We have never run from green flag to checkered twice in succession without a caution at Long Beach.
Look at the Verizon Chevy for Team Penske of Malukas chasing down Kyle Kirkwood as we see Marcus Ericsson retiring officially from the race. A full hybrid failure is what we're hearing from pit lane, and it's a real shame. That's not a component that the teams are allowed to really adjust or monitor, I should say, touch. It's a spec part.
But for the probability to hit the team twice in the same day, Kirkwood and now Ericsson, utterly bizarre as Malukas head down trying to make some progress on Kyle Kirkwood there. That battle for third position. So we're at lap 45. Should be about 15 more laps until the next round of stops.
So Malukas and Kirkwood both on the softs. But remember, Malukas has already run his hards. Kirkwood hasn't. So he might have that advantage in that final stint.
Neither has Palou. Neither has Rosenqvist as we head towards the final part of the race. Does it swing towards advantage David Malukas. He will have the soft tire. The 3 ahead of him will be on the harder, which theoretically is the slower tire.
You see the flat spot. Look, oh, he's flat. The flat spot was so bad, it's actually burst the tire. Kevin, he's going to have to come and get that change. It's all come undone for Newgarden.
And we have debris on the track.
That is
right
a
on
large,
the racing line.
large piece of carbon. Could easily cut a tire down.
Yeah, it's all right.
And
big
we have
safety issue, and we get a caution there.
Yeah, absolutely the right call there from race control. That could cut a tire, that could kick up, end up in the grandstands even. So great call there. It looks like the kind of part that goes underneath the gearbox, underneath the attenuator that may have come off. Maybe some contact in the fountain from 2 cars running close together. We had just jumped on the Liquid Science on board of Alexander Rossi as one of the high movers so far this race, but let's see who it's coming off of.
And what this is going to do.
Was it off of Rossi's car?
Yeah,
well, no, it was already
ran
there.
over it.
Yeah, I think if it didn't come off of Rossi, Rossi kind of brought it onto the racing line.
What this will do, of course, is stack the field up in the window for their final pit stop. So whatever breathing room Felix Rosenqvist and Meyershank Racing thought they had, it is eliminated. It'll be a straight up shootout on pit lane for the win of this race.
I'll tell you who this really, really is good for, David Malukas.
Oh!
In a Penske, they're so good on pit lane. He's going to be one of the only drivers at the front going to that soft tire for a restart when the last stint of the race.
Yeah.
This could really be playing into Little Dave's hands.
Joseph Newgarden, issues with his front left. His front right just collided with that piece of carbon fiber. If that hasn't sliced it, he's really riding his luck today. How many come in? Will any stay out? Georgia, the race leader, is coming to you.
They all come to pit lane. This is going to be a dogfight till the end as Felix Rosenqvist makes it in. He has to make it around Santino Ferrucci's crew. He has to satisfy and use those last set of Firestone hard tires, but he's going to have a clear outbeat with Ericsson retiring today. Jack.
7 of Kyle Kirkwood is in. He's actually already left. There's going to slide bubble. That is tight on exit. Kevin.
Up at the front, Alex Palou has the preferred pit location. David Malukas right behind him. It's a race up pit road, and Palou might just have barely beaten Rosenqvist out. It is tight.
He has. Malukas has dropped a huge amount of time, but look at Scott Dixon up into 3rd. It is Alex Palou who gets ahead of Rosenqvist. Alex Palou rounds the final corner. We will roll to green. We will have racing down to turn 1. Felix Rosenqvist aiming to get back the lead that he lost in the pits, but Palou's had a wonderful start. Rosenqvist is 2nd, Dixon is 3rd, Kirkwood 4th, O'Wood 5th, Power is 6th, and Palou maintains that lead as Power looks up and on the inside.
That's defending.
Yeah, it is, of McLaughlin.
Defending for McLaughlin, who got a great launch off at turn 11. Power, just like the original start, T-Bell, a little bit slow out of 11. Manages to keep his former teammate behind.
David Malukas right there to try to pounce on his teammate McLaughlin and make up some of the spots last on that last pit stop exchange. But yeah, strange for Power out of 11, like you said. He's now up to speed as Palou 1 second clear of Rosenqvist. And if you're Felix Rosenqvist, you've got to feel for him on that yellow. He had it all there, the gap, the comfort zone for his crew, and just horrible luck.
Slightly slow on the left rear for the 60 car. That's what held him up in pit lane there, allowed the 10 to get ahead. Big gains for Scott Dixon in the number 9. Big loss for David Malukas. Came in 4th, exiting in 8.
Rosenqvist, not a tidy exit through the hairpin. And look at the tires. Dixon on the soft might have the advantage, and we sit on board with Scott Dixon now. The 2 drivers ahead of him on the hard. Might this race yet come to the wily veteran Scott Dixon?
Yeah, and you saw in that pit stop compare there. Look at that, 7.3 seconds for the crew on the 10 car, 8.4 for Rosenqvist. That's the difference right there, guys. That's a car length at 45 miles an hour, which is the pit lane speed limit here in Long Beach. And now Rosenqvist looking back at his former teammate, Scott Dixon, 2-time winner here, and he is on those soft tires. We talked about how tight it was here in Long Beach. Look, the 26 car. He's going to run over the tire, the legs rather, of one of the Kyle Collette crew
and a penalty we are hearing for Will Power for hitting the crew member on pit lane.
Yeah, it's a pretty black and white rule there in IndyCar. If there's contact with a crew member, as we see him sitting there being tended to by the emergency services. Ryan Marzek, the outside rear for AJ Foyt Racing.
Last lap of the race here in Long Beach.
Biggest prize in motorsports is the Indy 500. He's got that one. Second biggest prize in IndyCar is the Long Beach Grand Prix. He's just one lap away, less than 2 miles between him and yet another victory on the season.
James, you won here with a view like this last lap where you know you've got a gap, you've got a chance to breathe. Do you take in the view? Do you take in the SoCal vibes just that little bit more?
It ain't done till it's done, brother. You got to wait till you cross that checkered flag. You can do that on the cool down lap if you want.
What a run it has been for Alex Palou, for Chip Ganassi Racing. Guys, 30 years ago at this circuit, Chip Ganassi won for the very first time with Jimmy Vasser. Alex was told this weekend, you know, Jimmy's here. He's going to be watching. Alex's retort, I guess I'd better win then.
Jimmy won yesterday as a team owner with his Lexus team. Today, Alex Palou doing it for Chip Ganassi.
One of the few tracks on this calendar on which Alex Palou had not yet won. He will right that wrong today. Alex Palou returns to victory lane and to the championship lead. Victory for Alex Palou.
Let's go! Thank you, boys.
Rosenqvist home in second place. Siegel defending.
Oh boy.
And this is a wild battle to the close. Defending his place from Rinus VK, who has a look up the inside. Newgarden almost collects the back of him. There is slight contact between Newgarden and VK as they all fight over the line. But it's Palou from Rosenqvist, Dixon from Kirkwood, Award from McLaughlin, Malukas, Rahal, Rossi and Simpson are your top 10.
And James, we saw the same thing. Rossi and Rahal side by side at the line as Rahal just eked it out. Top 8 finish there as Barry Wanzer fist bumps the crew. They've done it again.
Alex Palou, a winner, finally on the streets of Long Beach. A sensational drive once again. When he got that advantage, it was never any doubt. And Kevin is standing by with today's winner.
Since the start of last season, Alex Palou has now won 11 of 22 races. That is half. The 4-time champion has taken the points lead. Now the Chip Ganassi Racing number 10 crew has arrived. Chip has already greeted him. That's Ricky Davis, the longtime crew chief of the program. Alex, you ticked off a lot of boxes last year, winning on an oval, winning the Indianapolis 500. We think this is the second biggest race. What's the significance?
I agree. It's huge. It's huge. Super proud of everybody's job, but especially these guys, this crew that gave me the win today. The OpenAI car was super fast, but it was that yellow. It was that pit stop with all the pressure that these boys were able to do it and execute it perfectly. So yeah, from there it was just managing the tires. We didn't know how the primaries were gonna be, so incredible to finally win here at Long Beach.
Running second most of the way, what was your level of confidence you could eventually get him?
It was close. It was very close. I was struggling a little bit on the soft tires. I was a lot more confident on the harder tires at the end. I don't know. I think we would have been really close. Who knows? I think Felix was doing a hell of a job. I could see that he just kept going. Thank you,
awesome, man. Awesome.
Thank you. He kept just doing more mileage than us and going fast. So it was going to be really tough for us to beat him. But yeah, we did.
Congratulations. Alex Palou wins in Long Beach.
A hard-fought battle today for Felix Rosenqvist, but here are the facts. You led 51 laps. It's your best finish of the season. How did you take away from today?
End of the day, it's great. You know, tough start of the year. Came back here, tried to bounce back. Got a pole, P2. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a bittersweet race. We just, I'm not sure exactly what happened. We lost a little bit in the stop. Alex is obviously going to be 10 out of 10 almost every stop, so I don't think it was necessarily that our one was slow, but they probably had a great one as well. But anyways, that's how it goes. Big thank you to Acura, Honda, and Green Day. I loved rocking this livery. Maybe we'll do it again someday. And yeah, you know, end of the day, we got to celebrate this one. P2, lots of points, podium. That's where I want to be.